With the launch of this season, auto rifles of almost every archetype, sorry high impact, received a damage buff in PvP, which has led some people to question, are they too good in the Crucible? The main culprits of this debate are the Monte Carlo, Suros Regime, and Hardlight. Welcome back to the channel, my name is Man of Coal, and today, let's talk about which one of these auto rifles is going to be the best in PvP. I can't believe I just said those words. Don't forget to follow me over on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/manofcoal, where I'm going to be helping a bunch of people get to the lighthouse. Link to that is going to be in the description. Also, if you're looking for more guides for PvP, either specific or general, don't forget to subscribe. I love taking the ideas you guys provide in the comments and bringing them into my videos, so keep commenting what you would like to see. If you played any Trials of Osiris this past weekend, you are fully aware that 2 of, if not all 3 of these weapons were prevalent in some way. Don't believe me? Take a look at the weapons that had the most kills this past weekend of Trials. Nope, you don't need your vision checked. Yep, not only are there 2 auto rifles in the top 4 weapons with the most kills, but they are also the first 2 primary weapons totaling over 11 million kills, with the spare rations being the next closest with 1.5 million kills. Now, the biggest questions I have after seeing this data revolves around 2 major data points. Did we get this result because of the specific map for this past weekend of Trials, or are these auto rifles actually that good now? Let's take a look at some numbers. I want to start with the exotic primary auto rifle Monte Carlo. While being the lesser used of the 3 exotic auto rifles, the Monte Carlo still falls under the same adaptive frame archetype as our other 2 friends. It has an optimal time to kill of 0.70 seconds and a body shot time to kill of 1.20 seconds. Monte Carlo's intrinsic perk is Monte Carlo Method, which states that dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee cooldown and grants a chance to fully recharge your melee ability with each kill. Its other perk is Markov Chain, which states that this weapon gains increased damage from melee kills and kills with this weapon. Melee kills also grant ammo for this weapon. Okay, so what does all of that mean? Essentially, the more damage and kills you do with the Monte Carlo, the more that it can benefit other aspects of your loadout. I can see a lot of potential here with Monte Carlo and Hunter throwing knives, especially with middle and bottom tree gunslinger. Constantly having a one-shot option on something like bottom tree gunslinger can be extremely lethal in the Crucible. However, the skill gap that would be required to see this happen at its full potential would be extremely high compared to the next 2 on our list. Overall, I believe the Monte Carlo will shine more in the 6v6 playlist than in the 3v3 playlist. The reason being, this weapon requires kills in order for it to see its maximum potential. And for those of you that have seen any of my videos, I talk about the importance of staying alive rather than getting kills in the 3v3 playlists. In 3v3 playlists, especially elimination, when your life matters more than trying to get a kill, Monte Carlo just won't have the opportunity to fully break out of its shell, which is why we didn't see much of it in this first weekend of Trials. Let's move on to our next exotic primary auto rifle, the Suros Regime. For you OG Destiny players back in the first year of Destiny 1, the Suros Regime was the dominant weapon in the Crucible. I mean, it was essentially busted. That's how good this weapon was. If my memory serves me correct, I want to say that the Suros could do in the range of 35 to 37 to the head with little to no damage fall off. I mean, it was something. But now in Destiny 2, the Suros falls under the adaptive frame archetype, but I'm going to put an asterisk right next to it for right now. We will get to that in a second. The intrinsic exotic perk for Suros is Suros Legacy, which states that the bottom half of the magazine does extra damage and has a chance to return health on kill. Now, here's the asterisk. The other perk that Suros has is that you can swap between 2 different firing modes. The first one is spinning up, which states that holding down the trigger increases the rate of fire. The second one is dual speed receiver, which states that while aiming down sights for this weapon, rate of fire slows down, but damage increases. You are 100% going to want to use the spinning up perk for this gun because the base time to kill sits at the same time as Monte Carlo, which is 0.70 seconds. However, with the spinning up perk activated, that 0.70 optimal time to kill drops all the way down to a 0.47 second time to kill, and a body shot time to kill at a staggering 0.80 seconds, which not only makes this the fastest time to kill for any auto rifle in the game, but the fastest time to kill out of any primary in the game. So why was it not the weapon with the most kills in Trials this past weekend? Why was Hardlight number 1 by a long shot? The main reason I see this being the case is because of the spinning up perk. Basically, the perk doesn't just switch the gun from a 600 RPM to a 900 RPM in a split second, it actually has a gradual build up to that 900 RPM archetype, meaning that only the last 12 bullets of the magazine will fall under the 900 RPM archetype. Most engagements, especially in trials, you will either get the kill or be killed before you get to those optimal last 12 bullets of the magazine. The Suros is still an incredible weapon and has a ton of potential, which is why you saw it as the second most used primary in trials this past weekend, to none other than the last exotic auto rifle we will talk about today, the Hardlight. The Hardlight is an exotic energy auto rifle that has an adaptive frame archetype. Hardlight has the standard 0.70 optimal time to kill with the body shot time to kill of 1.20 seconds. The intrinsic exotic perk for Hardlight is Volatile Light, which states that rounds fired from this weapon have no damage fall off, over-penetrate targets, and ricochet off hard surfaces. Projectile damage increases after bounce. The second perk is a pretty cool one, but has no real use in PvP, and that is the Fundamentals, which allows you to change the weapon's damage type to either Solar, Arc, or Void by holding the reload button. So what made this weapon so popular in trials this past weekend? I'll let the stats speak for themselves. With a recoil stat of a perfect 100, a completely vertical recoil pattern, and an aim assistance stat of 100, this weapon may be the easiest weapon to handle in the entire game. And if you are fortunate enough to have the exotic catalyst for this weapon, it maxes out your stability bar. So now you have a perfect stability rating, a perfect recoil rating, and a perfect aim assistance rating. Add on top of that the exotic perk, which provides no damage fall off, and the bullets just ricochet off surfaces until they hit something, while also causing more damage. This weapon instantly becomes a nuisance in the Crucible. The only knock that I see for this weapon is that it is an energy weapon, limiting your option to use a secondary weapon. That means you can't use it with a Mindbender's Ambition or a Beloved, some of the more popular secondary weapons in the game. However, if you're fine with using a Dustrock Blues or even a Revoker, then you should really see no issue with using the Hardlight. All in all, I am extremely excited to see how the season plays out now that auto rifles are viable in the Crucible. If I had to rank these in terms of ease of use, I would say the clear-cut number one option would be Hardlight, followed by Monte Carlo, then Suros Regime. If I had to rank them based on how much you could benefit from their perks, it's close, but I would give a slight edge to Suros Regime, followed by Monte Carlo, then Hardlight. I edged out Suros over Monte Carlo because of its ability to regen health after a kill, which can be a huge factor when getting into 1v1 gunfights. I do predict that we may see some minor tweaks to the Hardlight in the near future, maybe a nerf to the magazine size or even a slight nerf to ricochet damage. But we shall see. Which of these exotic auto rifles have you tried out? Which ones do you like? Let me know down in the comments. If you're looking for a PC Destiny clan to join, I'm welcoming any and all people to my clan, Collapsed. Just click the link that is in the description and request to join. And again, just a reminder that I will be streaming Trials Help most weekends, so go follow me over on my Twitch at twitch.tv/manofcole. Link to that is down in the description. Thank you all very much for watching. A positive rating is always appreciated, and as always, we'll see ya.